Oh, look. Yeah, I just ran my first half marathon on September 1st, 2024. And now I am 27 days away before the full thing. More than just that, I am on the last week, this 20-week training plan that was featured in the video right before this, about 4 or 5 months ago when I started this whole thing. This isn't the video, like I told you guys, this isn't the video that I said I'm gonna make a couple months later saying either I did it or I failed. I want to give you guys some tips that I found out about myself throughout my whole training about this whole running thing. This is everything I learned training for my first ever full marathon and also completing my first half marathon in 1 hour and 50 minutes. I hope you guys enjoy it. I thought it was very important to make this video as I'm coming to my last week of this marathon training and almost a month until race day. Things that I just have learned about this whole running thing. And I want to preface this by starting out to say, running is so specific to you as an individual, not even just everything I say, anything you see online. Always take the gems that speak to you and work for you. Not everything will work for you. And I want to make that very, very clear. I myself am not by the book type of runner at all. I just kind of do what works for me. And I hope anything I say, even if it's one thing, can maybe help you in some type of way. If not, just throw it to the side, keep doing what you are doing. And I promise you, your body will figure it out and you will figure it out also. I am now currently over 500 miles deep as I started my training in this past March. I think we should start where everyone wants me to start. Do not buy $300 running shoes. Don't buy these. Don't buy them. I learned the hard way why not to be ignorant and listen to people that tell you these are race day shoes. These will destroy your feet if you're doing a lot of miles in them. And that's what they did to me. You need to figure out so much about the way you run, what feels good on your feet. The only way to do that is to just start running and putting miles in. I ran 14 miles on that week and I think I destroyed my feet so bad that I had to take 2 weeks off because of those shoes. Buy these, the Asics Gel Nimbus. These feel like clouds. This is my main shoe that I run with. They're half the price. They're $150. It's okay. We live and we learn. We live and we learn. That's why I'm here, so you can learn from my mistakes, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that might cost you 300 bills. Away from just the shoes, for gear wise, apart from headphones, my phone, music and stuff like that, these are my kind of essentials. For what I take with me on runs is a running belt and the 16-ounce water bottle. I am a type of person that can't have too much on me, too much weight on me, because I will start chafing, so I can't do the running vest. So just a simple belt is all I need. I put like everything else I need in it and it doesn't bother me as much. And then for water, I don't need that much water. I've come to find out I can pace myself with just this type of water bottle throughout my run anyways. These two things is all I bring with me on runs essentially. For chafing specifically, shout out to my sister for this. There's also mad different options, but I think my sister had it and I tried it and it's just been the thing. I use Mega Babe. You can get this at like Target. I use this for everywhere, for my thighs, around my body so I don't chafe, under my armpits, and I also use it for every single run. Another thing that I use a lot on every single run are these nose strips. These help me out a lot. I enjoy using these a lot because breathing is so big for me when it comes to running, and controlling my breath allows me not to rush, allows me to pace myself, and also allows me to work a little bit harder. Making sure you're breathing out of your nose efficiently, that's very crucial to having a good run. Breathe Right is the brand that I use. You can use any nose strips you can find. Again, you can find them at Target. I use sports tape, athletic tape a lot when it comes to like fighting off blisters, making sure I'm comfortable and things like that. This helps a lot. This kind of comes from me being a soccer player because I used to do this a lot when I was playing. So a good hack that I found that works for me. So where I get the most blisters are the arches of my feet and usually on the heel of my foot. So I am just doing a light tape up, so not too tight because I don't want to cut circulation off, and also I don't want to feel uncomfortable as I'm running. There's one little loop around, very, very loose, and then on my heels as well. That has helped me a lot. I've tried every single like cream, every single thing. I always went back to this, and this is what has remained king for me. Might not be traditional, might be a better way to do it, but this has been working for me and I am going to keep utilizing it. This is like $2. So that's all the gear that I utilize. From the shoes, I don't want a lot. That's a lot to keep track of. I already have to keep track of so much that I want to simplify it to least amount of things as possible to bring with me to my run. Nutrition during my runs, the only thing I eat that I found out works the best for me, I mean, it doesn't have to be honey stingers, but I like the gummies. So it's in my little bag and I pull out during my run. I've tried the gel packets and I've had a hard time pacing myself with the gels. With a gel, once I prop it open, I hate being sticky, so I try to finish it as soon as I open it and finish the whole thing. That could upset my stomach, and it has upset my stomach, and it completely disrupts whatever momentum I have. I tried the gummies after that. These gummies have 2 servings in them, so they have 12 chews, and I like that a lot because I eat the first 2. Each chew after the first 2, I keep at the roof of my mouth until I'm sick of it, basically. I know it's not the best thing in the world when it comes to prioritizing nutrition. I need to get better at it. That kind of also helps me with my mouth being dry. I enjoy the gummies a lot more than the gels. And then in my water bottle, electrolytes. It's not just water, it's like an electrolyte mix. That's the only thing for nutrition. Yep, that's all the nutrition that I am currently doing at this very moment. Before I started training, the most I ever ran was 10 miles, if you see in the last video. And now I love running just 10 miles, but now I have to hit 20 and above. But how did I get here? The only answer I have for you is consistency. Don't rush yourself. Like I said, I told you guys my only goal was to finish this training plan until my sister told me, you're doing all that running, you should just sign up for a race. I found a race like halfway through my training, and then I found the half marathon weeks after that as well, because I was like, let me get my first race to be like half the distance and then get that experience out of the way. I was just going through the training plan. I was keeping myself accountable and I wasn't letting myself slip up. Like I said, I wanted to do this. No one else is making me do this. That's the thing. You have to keep yourself accountable. Make sure you're focused on the right things. If your goal is to run a certain race, if it's a 10K, if it's a half marathon, if it's a full marathon, be more hungry with that mileage than the time. Time is going to be more your enemy than it is your friend. It's useful because it will help you gauge where you're at skill-wise or how much effort you're putting in and stuff like that. It could be detrimental to your progress if you let it. A simple thing that I think about when it was about time. This is the biggest tip I can give you. I was only focused on getting my body accustomed to those certain amount of mileages that marathons need you to be at. But when it came to just even having time as a factor, I stayed around the time that I considered bearable. Not a time where I felt comfortable, and not a time where I felt like I always was overworking myself, but bearable. Where that is right now in this moment, 8-minute 30-second pace per mile. That is my bearable pace that I want to try to hold for a whole marathon, a whole half marathon. That's the pace I'm aiming to hold as best as possible, as close as possible. What was my bearable pace when I first started? 10-minute mile, 10-minute 30 mile. So find that pace that you are kind of working yourself, but not killing yourself. That's your bearable pace. Use that like a point, you know, this is where I strive to be. This is my working at pace. I know I'm not pushing myself too far, but I know I'm not just taking it easy, because easy runs are very important too. You don't always have to push yourself to 100% every single run. That can also hurt you more than it will help you. If you're starting with a mile, the only focus you should have is finishing that mile without stopping. Once you do it without stopping, you might look at your watch, whatever app you're using, and it shows you an average pace. Try to keep that pace as your concrete foundation that you strive for. Hold that mile consistently. If your goal is to add more miles, run 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles. That pace might get slower as you add more miles, because that's just naturally what happens. After you are able to run 2 miles without running, try to aim for that pace that you can do 1 mile for. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of work that needs to be done. But again, don't let time control you. I only look at it as a benchmark. I want to finish 26 miles, and I'm just trying to prep my body to handle those type of miles. That's how I started all this training, and that's still my mentality right now. I didn't want to make too much content while I was doing this. I wanted to really focus in on getting this done. But after this marathon, I will keep making running content. We'll keep running. This isn't the end goal for this whole thing. I want to run all 6 major marathons. I think that's a big goal for me, and I want to keep making more running content for you guys. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. We still got the full thing in October. I'm sorry I've been away for a little bit, been figuring out a lot of things. I'll be back very soon. If it's running content, photography content, videography content, anything, any type of content, it's coming you guys' way. But if you've been wondering where I've been, I've also been streaming a little bit. So if you're ever interested and want to pop in over there to my Twitch streams, come and say hi. But I'll be back. Thank you guys for always tuning in. It means the world. We ran the half, now we got the full. Let's go do this thing. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Stay safe, always do what you love, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.